Hello everyone, this is Steven Dutzman. I am the editor-in-chief of EngageFamilyGaming.com. I am also the host of Engage, a family gaming podcast, and the host of this here EFG Evening News Update. This is your evening news update for family games on July 1st, 2016. The year is officially half over. We've gotten a lot of really great games so far, and the year's it's not even kind of over because we have 6 months worth of more games in all the big sports releases, Final Fantasy, a new Paper Mario. It's going to be crazy. So here we are. It's the evening news update for Friday. Bunch of news broke down today, so I thought I would throw a few things out there. First, I wanted to talk very briefly about my impressions of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. It's actually really good. I'm enjoying myself. It has a story and a plot like a real Final Fantasy game. The way that they make money is it all revolves around Lapis, which is that's the premium currency in the game. You can earn it by completing quests, and you get a fair amount every day if you kind of work at it, at least so far. And for every 500 Lapis you find, you can purchase a character. Now, the characters are from, like, you basically roll them, and they're all given star ratings based on their stats and their skills and things like that, and they're all characters from previous games. And when you start the game, it actually gives you 10 tickets that gives you the ability to roll for 10 characters. That kind of is what starts your party. And I found Vivi from Final Fantasy IX, and, I found Gareth from Final Fantasy V, a few other characters, a Red Mage, who I still use. Admittedly, it's only been a day or two, but, and then, as you continue to get more characters, even if you don't put them in your party, you can then kind of merge them with the characters that you have right now. You can fuse them and give them experience. It's kind of interesting. It's neat. If you have been interested in a Final Fantasy experience but don't own a new console, it's free. It doesn't really cost anything. There is an early bird bundle that I think is worth it. It's $3.99. Includes a couple more roll tickets and then some Lapis, which it serves some other purposes. But if you don't want to spend a dime, you can certainly play in the game. You can play through the plot without it. So that is Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. So let's hit the news. Basically today, we're going to talk about Pokemon. We're going to talk about Street Fighter. And we're going to talk about summer games done quick. So let's start with Pokemon. So, if you own Pokemon X, Pokemon Y, Pokemon Omega Ruby, or Alpha Sapphire, then you are likely already aware of the mythical Pokemon giveaways that are happening every month. They are running for most of the year as part of the 20th anniversary celebration. This month's is the mythical Hedgehog Pokemon, Shayman. And Shayman is live now. You can get it through the Nintendo. Basically, you connect to the internet through your 3DS and as like a gift, and you can get Shayman. There's also, if you go to stores, there's a Shayman promo card and like a mythical 20th anniversary like box set that you can get, but that's not super necessary. Shayman is a legendary grass-type Pokemon, so if you have a grass-shaped hole in your Pokemon team, Shayman is there. Shayman is also super adorable, being that it is a hedgehog with flowers for ears. So there you go. That is the first Pokemon announcement. That's going to be there from July 1 through July 24th, so don't sleep on it too much, but you've got some time. Next, they announced 9 new Pokemon that are being released as part of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, and they were announced in a trailer that kind of came out earlier on today. And here they are. They announced Tapu Koko, who is an electric fairy type, which is unique typing. That is the guardian deity of Melee Melee Island. This sounds like this might be a legendary. We're not really sure. He has this ability called Electric Surge that fills the field around the Pokemon's feet with electricity when it appears, boosting his own electricity type moves and preventing any Pokemon from falling asleep. So that's actually kind of neat, powering himself up and preventing a pretty brutal status effect, because the last thing you want is your Pokemon's falling asleep. The remaining ones, and I'm just going to go through them, and they're typing. There is Charjabug. That's Charjabug, looks like a bus. You got to look at him. It's kind of goofy. And Vikavolt, another bug electric type, just like Charjabug. Drampa, who is like a dragon grandpa. It's like an old looking dragon with like long white hair and long goofy white eyebrows. What's interesting about him is he has a berserk ability, so his special attack stat goes up when its hit points are below half. So he's kind of like a protective kind of old man. He's really goofy in his animations. It's worth looking. There is a new trailer, so seeing him is kind of neat. There is Bruxish, which is a really garish colored, almost tie-dye water psychic type fish thing. There is Cutiefly, which is a bug fairy type. It looks like a bee. I am all but certain that this thing's going to evolve into something we don't know. There is Toge de Maru, who's like a little... it is an electric steel type, which is interesting. Hedgehog-looking Pokemon. So you can team him up with Shayman, I'm sure, and have like a whole team of hedgehogs, if you want to be that crazy. There is Rockruff, that is a dog type, or puppy type. It's a rock type Pokemon. And then Komala, which is a normal Pokemon, who is always asleep. He has a comatose ability that puts him in a perpetually sleepy state, which means he can't, and it prevents him from getting other status effects. Not sure how you would use that. Maybe a Pokemon Master can hop into the comments and tell me. I don't know. I'm sure that there's a reason they created this thing. They also showed 3 forms of Zygarde. Zygarde is a legendary Pokemon that came out, kind of was revealed as part of XY. A lot of people assumed that eventually we would get a Pokemon Z, where Zygarde would be the legendary Pokemon. That's not a thing. Zygarde is a dragon ground type Pokemon, and what's interesting is he has multiple forms. When his hit points get below 50%, he gets to a specific form. When he gets below 10%, he gets another one. And it has a like basically a giant fighting robot. I don't know how to describe it. You got to look at the trailer. It's up on YouTube right now. And it's just a giant fighting robot. I would not want to be fighting that thing while it was mad. So that's Pokemon. So we're starting to see more. Games coming out in November, so they really don't have a lot of time to keep people hyped. And obviously with a whole lot of new Pokemon, they can just dribble that out and we will see more. Next, let's talk about Street Fighter. So story mode is out as of today. Specifically, it's not necessarily about Street Fighter. It's actually more about... Yeah, it is actually kind of interesting. And there's transformations in there. It's like a green and black, kind of, there's some geometric shapes on it. It's actually a really cool design. Specifically, we're talking about EVO. EVO is the World Fighting Game Championships. EVO 2016 is coming up in just a couple of weeks. And most notably, it is going to... it has more than 14,000 competitors entering various tournaments. There are 9 games that are there. So here are the numbers for sake of speed. Street Fighter V has over 5,000... competitors. Smash for Wii U has 2,500. Smash for Melee, Super Smash Bros. Melee has 2,300. Pokken Tournament has 1,100. So That's 3 Nintendo games at the World Fighting Game Championships that total to over 6,000 competitors just coming to play Nintendo games, which I think is really neat. Not a lot of people playing Marvel, only 770, which is somewhat disappointing. That used to be one of the premier games. Obviously, not so much anymore. Tekken 7 has about 500. So what's interesting about this is the vast majority of the games that are going to be at EVO are going to be rated T for teen or under, which I think is, I mean, obviously Mortal Kombat X and Killer Instinct are an exception, but you can watch the top 8 for Street Fighter V and Smash and Pokken Tournament without worrying about your kids seeing anything really crazy, which I think is really cool. This is a very competitive tournament. They're going to see some crazy high-level play. Might really inspire them to maybe play the game a little bit more seriously, and try, this, rather than shooting around just shooting a basketball around, maybe, the equivalent of running drills, which I think is, taking gaming seriously is not a bad thing. And as you can see, by watching that, there's a lot of prize money involved in EVO. So tons of people breaking records. What's really interesting is I mentioned the finals for the various games, being able to watch them. You're going to be able to watch them in a different place this year because the Street Fighter V Grand Finals for EVO 2016 are going to be aired on ESPN2 and on the Watch ESPN app, which is they actually are airing commercials on ESPN between now and then, showing that grand final is going to be on ESPN2. This is huge. This is the biggest fighting game tournament in the world, so it doesn't stun me, but man, the fact that there is going to be a Street Fighter tournament on ESPN is just mind-blowing to me. It's something I never thought I would see when I was younger, and here we are. So it's super cool. So that's the Street Fighter stuff. We're going to be talking a whole lot about EVO when it happens and while it's happening. I love EVO. It's one of my favorite times of the year. So next, I want to talk about Summer Games Done Quick. We talked about that yesterday, where I talked about briefly what it was. But what I want to talk about today is that those of us on the East Coast, actually at this point, all of us, it's 9:45 right now on the East Coast. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which airs at 11:35 at night, is actually going to have a gentleman by the name of Mitch Flowerpower, who currently holds the world record for the Super Mario Bros. 3 any percent run, which I think right now is in the neighborhood of 3 to 4 minutes. And he's going to be on Colbert talking about Summer Games Done Quick, which is really interesting that they're going to be, that he's going to be on Colbert. Now, it's not the first time that Colbert has had video game folks on his show. He had PewDiePie on there last year. He had The Legend of Zelda Symphony on there. You can actually watch that on YouTube. It's amazing. So we don't know how long he's going to be on there, but we do know he's going to be playing the game on set. I think Summer Games Done Quick needs all the attention it can get because they raise a lot of money every year. I think this time they're doing Doctors Without Borders again, which is really awesome. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about this right now. We do know it kicks off on Sunday, July 3rd in the evening. Kicks off for it actually kicks off, I believe, with Super Mario Sunshine, and then it's going to be all but nonstop games for the rest of the week, culminating in my understanding, it's going to be culminating in a Super Metroid run, and a couple other games. So my plan for this weekend is, before Summer Games Quick goes live, I'm going to write up a suggestion for what I think the best speedruns to watch for families will be. I'll get to that in a moment, Miranda. I'm going to have like a list with some links, and I'm going to put it up on the Engaged Family Gaming site. So pay attention to the EFG Facebook page and Twitter, and also the engagedfamilygaming.com/community. Now, as far as where you can watch, it's going to be on Twitch. So if you go to twitch.tv, you should be able to see the stream for Summer Games Done Quick. They call it SGDQ, so you might see it under that. You may see it there. I also would fully expect if you just go to if you just go to gamesdonequick.com, they should have links to the stream there if they aren't hosting it on their own website. So those are the two places that I would go. I historically have watched it on Twitch. There is a Twitch app for all the major consoles. So I've been watching the Twitch. I watch it on my big TV, on my Xbox One. For family viewing, hide the comments. If you're not a regular Twitch viewer, Twitch comment streams can be incredibly toxic. And you just don't want to, if you can avoid it. And you can absolutely just make the games full screen. And it's great. You're going to be seeing the equivalent of Olympic athletes playing some of these games. And I am always astounded by the things that they can pull off. Beating Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time in like less than a half hour, stuff like that. It's just crazy. And I will also put a link to whatever the best streams are. If there's quality issues, I'll throw that into the community group just to make sure everybody has an opportunity to see it. So that's it. That's the news for today. I highly recommend that you check out Colbert, because I think watching Mitch Flower Powers run, if they air that could be really cool, because he is an amazing player. He's actually going to be playing during SGDQ, he's going to be playing a Super Mario Maker blind team relay race, meaning he's going to be playing the game blind in a race with other teams of expert Mario players. It's out of control. I don't even know how to describe it. So that's it. If you have additional questions, I will be paying attention to the comments, so by all means, leave them here on the video. And I will likely be taking Monday off because it is a holiday, but I will be back on Tuesday with another evening news update. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we will see you soon. Bye now, everybody.